Focus on the long term and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. All right. So yesterday we discussed pips, right? We talked about pips. We exhausted it. We saw percentage in, that the meaning is percentage in point, and also we talked about how we can calculate pips. All right, we talked about that. So hopefully sorry please. And so today we are going to talk about how to calculate lot size, leverage, swap, spread, and margin. All these things are what you need to know before you start to trade Forex. All right. So right away to begin, this is actually recorded. All right. It's actually being recorded. So right away to begin, let's talk about lot size. Thank you. Let's talk about lot size. What is lot size? Now, many times when you buy a market, an instrument in the Forex market, for those who have been trading, you see something like this, 0.01. Like when you buy or you sell, 0.1, then 1.0. We often see that on the chart. Those figures there actually represent the lot size. I'll show you that in the chart, on the chart in a moment. I don't think I can present it now. Just hold on. Before the end of this class, I'll show you that. So you see 0.1, 0.01, and also 1.0. Now, what you're seeing is the volume of trade you should take. For example, if you're to buy $1, you spend an equivalent of 470 naira. If you're to buy $100, you've spent 4700, 47,000. And if you're to buy 1,000, you're going to spend 470, 1, 2, 3. Now this, if $1 is what you can afford, this is the amount you pay for it. If $100 is what you can afford, this is the amount you pay for it. So $1 in 100 places, $1 in 1,000 places, $1 in 10,000 places, $1 in 100,000 places. All these represent the size you can buy. And that's why when you go to a store to buy something, maybe soap, they ask you how many. They ask you about quantity. So it's all about the quantity you want to buy. That's all about lot size. The quantity, the volume. It's not different from the regular market. So when you say 1.0 lot, it's equivalent to 100,000 contracts. When you say 0.1, it's equivalent to 10,000 contracts. When you say 0.01, it's equivalent to 1,000 contracts. So we call this standard lots. We call this mini lots. We call this micro lots. So in essence, what you are saying is when you take a trade, pound USD trade, you are buying 100,000 contracts. So when you say you want to buy euro, it's as if you're buying 100,000 piece of the smallest denomination of euro. When you use 0.1, it's like you're buying 10,000 piece of the smallest denomination of euro. We're talking about euro USD in this instance. This principle also applies to everything you're trading. When you trade with 0.01, you're also buying 1,000 piece of the smallest of that currency, smallest denomination of that currency. Now, if you have a lot of money, if you want to buy goods and you have a lot of money, you become a wholesaler. You know, you buy in bulk. That's this guy here, one standard lot. And so those people who are actually advised to trade a standard lot are those who have good funds in their account. Maybe at once a standard lot. If you put a trailer load of yam inside a lorry, it would not move. It cannot carry it. So if you have $100 and you're trading a standard lot, it would not move. The broker will bounce it back because the amount of money you have in your account is not enough to carry that trade. You cannot buy 100,000 contract of Euro USD. So on the chart, what you see usually is 0.1, 0.01. Let's start 0.01, 0.1, and 1.0. These are the lot sizes. And then you can have something like 0.02, 0.2, and 2.0. All right. So whatever it is, it's multiplied by 2. I believe that's well taken. Does anyone have a question on this?
None for now.
Great. So very, very clear. I know some of you already should understand what lot sizes are. Many persons here would understand what lot sizes are. So now, let's relate lot size and PEEP. Okay, that was the whole essence of bringing all these things together. So if the market moves from, let's say, New Zealand USD, NSD USD, moves from 0.0910 to 0.72845, and you bought at this price using 0.1 lots. When price gets to this level, how many pips have you made? 1, and how much is it? Tell me the pips and tell me the amount.
193 pips.
193 pips. So how much is that in, how much have you made? You've made 193 pips. How much is that if you use 0.1? Okay, it's good. I like the fact everyone is silent. That's because I've not actually addressed it. Okay. Now, so when you have 0.1, 0.01 in pip is equal to, note this, 0.1 times pip value. Okay. So someone who trades 0.01 and makes 50 pips, and the market moves 50 pips rather, what the person has made is 0.1 multiplied by 50. And the answer, 0.1 rather, sorry. 0.1 multiplied by 50, and the answer is 5. So the person has made 5 USD. If that same person used 0.1, the answer to that is 1.0 multiplied by the pip value. Which is, in this case, if you have made 50 pips, for example, it's equals to 50, is equals to 1, sorry. It's equals to 1 multiplied by 50, which is the pip value. So the amount of money you've made is actually $50. If someone else uses one standard lot, which is 0.1, to get the pip value, the value in amounts, you multiply 10 by pip value, which is, in this case, 50 pips, right? 10 multiplied by 50, which is 500 USD. So you see that these three guys, man, this is man C, this is man A and B. So man A, B, and C actually made the same number of pips, but the amount is different. Why? Because of their lot size. Now let's go back to our previous question. How many pips does this man make? The market moved 193 pips. How much has he made? Who can give us the answer?
193 US dollars.
Beautiful. 193 US dollars. That's it. That's just it. 193 US dollars. Okay, let's imagine that the person used. Does anyone have a question at this point before we proceed? Okay, no question. So let's imagine that Mr. J actually made 600 pips using 0.6 lot. 0.6. What's the value? How much has it made? 600 pips.
$3,600 pips.
Beautiful. 3,600 pips. Beautiful. Does anyone still have a problem with this?
3,600 US dollars.
Beautiful. That's it.
Not pips.
Yeah, 2,600. Anyway, I think I followed him because he was right with the figure. You know, I think he confused pips and the amount. Yeah, you're correct. Thank you, David, for coming in. So the value, the number numerically, you are correct, but the unit was wrong. All right. So 3,600 USD. I believe we no longer have a problem with this. Everyone is clear? All right, so let's talk about something else. Let's talk about leverage. Okay, when you see a woman, maybe you see a woman on a Saturday evening, and then you see her on a Sunday morning, looking taller. One of the reasons why they are looking taller is because they wear their high heel, right? That's a very good example of leverage. You say a woman who is the height of 1.2, and then on a Sunday morning she's 1.3. She's leveraging on the high heel. So she's actually taller than she seems to be, than she actually is. That's what leverage does. Before now, you cannot trade the forex market unless you have $10,000. But with leverage, you can trade like as if you have $10,000, even though in reality you don't have up to that. You can trade as if you have $1 million, but in reality you don't have. Okay. So leverage is what makes you enter the market as a big boy, as a giant. You walk into the market like a giant. It has its good side. It also has its bad side. Then when you enter the market and you're a giant, everyone sees you. When you also fall, everyone sees you. So you only enjoy the giant status as long as you do not fall. Because if you're a giant, you can easily fall. You can fall faster than even someone who is closer to the ground. So in the forex market today, we have some brokers give up to 1,000 leverage. What this means is that if you're trading with $100, the broker has actually make it seem like you're trading with this amount of money. That's $100,000. If you decide to trade with a leverage of 1 to 10 with $10,000, looks like you're also trading with $100,000. So that's what leverage does. It helps you to actually make profit quickly, and it also helps you to lose your money faster. For me, many may be asking, so which leverage should I use? Well, it depends on the funds you have. And for people who are very cautious about risk management, they want to be careful about the leverage they also use. If you are a very aggressive trader, it's fine. 1,000 leverage is good for you if you're aggressive. If you're a scalper, you're aggressive, you're a day trader, you want to always make money, because some scalpers, they're ready to lose actually the $100 they have in their account. They just want to risk everything in. That's fine. That's okay. But if you're a scalper, you can use $100. If for some persons who are not very cautious, who are not so interested about risk, they can use 100 to. Who are so conscious about risk, they can use 100 to 1 to 100 leverage. That's actually what I recommend personally. 1 to 100. But you can do it otherwise, right? So if you fund, let's say $1,000, and you do this, you are seen like someone who has funded how much? $100,000. But if you have $100 in your account, maybe you can do more. It's okay, because you don't have much in your account. You don't have much in your account. But if you have $1,000 in your account, 1 to 100 is fine. It helps keep you in the game, no matter how long you make mistakes. That's leverage for you. So when you are opening a brokerage firm site, like in M Trading, 1 second. Let me share my screen with you quickly so that you see the site. Where's my share screen? Come on. So when you open the site, what you see is, maybe you want to open an account, for example. Let's take, for example, account, live account, open live account. You click here, open live account, live trade, premium. Okay, we are going to be out soon. Please do well to come back. Premium or pro, you choose premium, USD, leverage. Now look at this, leverage. That's it there, leverage. So here you have 1 to 1,000, 1 to 500, 1 to 100, 1 to 25. So if you have less than $1,000, you can do 1,000. You can do 1,000 leverage. But anything above maybe $2,500, to be on a safe side, you can do 100. Then if you have above $20,000, you can do 25. In fact, you can even you can do 100. In fact, I don't recommend anyone going below 100 leverage. Okay, you want to trade big, you want to make money. So 100, between 100 and 1,000, you can choose any of that. But bear it in mind that if you are trading a small account and you use 1,000 leverage, what happens is that you can overtrade, because the system will continue to absorb more trades. The system will keep absorbing more trades. If you click buy, even when you're losing, it will still buy. But if you're using 1 to 100 or 1 to 500, as the case may be, at some point when you're losing, when you click buy or sell, when you're about entering another position, you hear a sound denying your execution, because you no longer have what they call free margin. You are like on the edge of a cliff. Okay? Who is doing that? Who's doing this? Someone drew something up. I was supposed to deactivate everybody's share. Oh, sorry. All right. Maybe I will do it later. So you're like on the edge of the cliff. So the system would not trigger your trade anymore. Okay, that's what happens. And by so doing, your negative trades, your account is protected. And that's because you are using a smaller margin. But for a $100 account and using this, whenever you open a trade, it absorbs it. So your account is like a bottomless pit. Okay, even when you're losing, it keeps absorbing. So you want to be careful about the leverage you use. As a newbie, if you're starting, please don't do higher than this. All right, or at most this 500. I know it's only 1% that'll listen. That's usually what happens when we are doing trainings like this. You're talking to 100%. You teach 100% one strategy. 1 hour later, it's only 5 that will follow that same thing you've talked about. So, but it's okay to talk about it. All right. So let's talk about the spread. Let's talk about the spread. So the spread is the difference between the bid price and the ask price. The bid and the ask. The ask price is the price that you are willing to buy. The bid price is the price the broker is willing to sell to you. So the difference between those two prices is the spread. I'll show you my chart now. Just wait for one. Just give me a few minutes. Let me pull up my screen and then show you in real terms. Um, 1 minute, please. Okay, so I can share my screen now with you. Okay, so can you all see my screen? Can you all see my screen, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. All right. 1 second. All right, great. That's what I want to show you right now, right here. So you can see this line. Where is my? Okay, you can see this line here, and this line. This is the ask price. This is the bid price. Right? Now, when you take a trade, let's take an example. When you click sell, for example, your trade is triggered by the bid. And when you click buy, look at that, it's triggered by the ask. Let's go to a smaller time frame. Can you see it? Can you see that I took a sell trade here, right here? It was triggered, and then I took a buy trade here. It was triggered by the different places. So this is the price the broker we are willing to give me if I want to buy this currency. And when I wanted to sell, this was the price they were willing to sell to me. The difference between the bid and the ask is called the spread. That's what broker make as their own revenue. So the difference between the bid price and the ask price is referred to as the spread. Okay. So just in case you've not seen this before, these are called candlesticks, and this is a moving average. In our beginners class, we'll talk about how all this works. All right. So this is still foundation. So this is what the chart actually looks like. The chart, you have time against price, time and price chart. So that trade was triggered around 0.71810, around that price. Let me get the exact price. Hold on. Okay. 0.71811. That was where the buy trade was triggered and the sell trade was triggered 0.7793. Okay, 71793. All right, so the difference is called the spread. So if a broker charges you 0. They're usually tight 0. Let's say 2.0 spread on a currency like this, and you trade with a standard lot, how much would you pay the broker for that trade? Fastest finger. We'll be logging out in less than 1 minute, please. Fastest finger. Let me repeat the question. If a broker charges you 2 pips rather, and you open a position with one standard lot,